I didn't want to give this guy's video the attention it demands from me, but I guess it can't be helped. The last time I made a video like this, it was like ages ago, probably when I was like 15, and it involved some guy named Soundstep Gaming and my beef with him in Pilgrim Islands Reborn in Roblox. I thought that responding now would be a bad idea, since I've learned from the mistakes made by the guy that developed No Man's Sky, as explained by the internet historian.
Anything they said right now, an admission of guilt,
I've made a severe
would be met with criticism.
However, based on further judgment and the advice of a couple friends, I am forced to address this issue as soon as I can, because leaving a cigarette ember in a dry eucalyptus forest will create another classic Californian forest fire, if left unchecked. With that being said, let's start the video.
Play that fucking video!
That flag, plus the annoying BLM movement and all tweets about them that I see on my feed every fucking morning in my life were the reasons why I left Twitter and almost never browse it directly anymore. I think the history of Tumblr discussed by Charlie and the Gamer from Mars explains it all. To summarize, Tumblr's porn ban led to a huge chunk of not safe for work artists on the site migrating to Twitter, and look what it did to the platform now. Unrestricted rights to post pornography on a site that isn't focused on pornography will create very toxic movements raised by self-entitled. I've gone off topic. I remember installing this mod back when I was in college. I was probably 18 or 19 at the time, and I thought this Pokemon mod was cute when I saw JonTron post a video about it. Since I was taking an IT course with a major in game dev courses at the time, I thought this was a fun attempt at modding a game. It's as simple as downloading a mod and using Lunar IPS. Forgot the process, but it gave me MoM1. I haven't played the game for a long time, so yeah. I didn't want to jack off to it, I just want to see what it looked like. I mean, Jesus Christ, so many people post crop porn in sites like Funny Junk, and everyone is just curious for the sauce. Yeah, this means I'm immature and make jokes that are considered unfunny to people in my age. I've been in the internet for 12 years and I barely changed until, probably a few weeks ago. I 100% agree. I have no life. Insert anime girls with very short skirts here. Sailor Moon, Hayorin, Roko-san, Mirmo, this one Bible film. Anyways, I'm planning to use this character in a comic series. Spoiler alert, imagine this dude, but he was a soldier. Yeah, I'm at fault here for telling everyone one of my favorite porn stars, and I apologize for it. Since people were making memes about Johnny's sins, I thought mentioning Elise was okay. I watched the film Arashi no Yoruni when I was like 11 or 12. I almost turned gay when I saw that goat. He looked cute. This was during a time in my youth when I became bi-curious. I'm 22 now and straight, cisgendered, and only turned on by hardcore shit. The Last Unicorn is a really good movie. It's about a unicorn who thought she was the last of her kind and had started an adventure to see if there are any other unicorns like her left. I suggest you go ahead and watch it too. I can see that this was made back when I was in high school, as I haven't had that phone for 6 or 8 years. And speaking of DeviantArt, I almost never use that site anymore. Anyone who feels uneasy about seeing their old posts looking at URT game, Life of Boris and Townsend's, would normally delete all their old content out of insecurity. I'm not insecure, I have the balls to keep everything I post online for everyone to see, and as a reminder to myself about what kind of weird-ass retard I was many years ago. I live by the motto, people who never learn from their past are condemned to repeat it. Loyal Heart Dog, the best Care Bear cousin since 1985. Just kidding, it's Braveheart. There's nothing wrong with this, other than whatever is running in your dirty minds. I guess the moment you start talking about sex is the moment you're prohibited from commenting about innocent stuff. Okay, I can see why people get weirded out by me for constantly posting Care Bear crap. People who have massive projects in their mind have to constantly work hard in getting used to seeing and posting the same shit over and over again. I'll admit that midway through the first year of me being exposed to Care Bears, I was starting to get really sick of the franchise. It's an experiment to myself to see whether it's possible for me to get used to it. It worked, and it's the second nature to me now. That means I'm ready to take on repetitive jobs in the future, like running a border checkpoint. Nice one for cropping the original. which actually look like this. I follow the server rule, probably unspoken, where I am not allowed to send porn links to anyone without their consent. I'll talk about that later. On my defense, I never really knew how old anyone was in that server. Well, all those except for a couple people who told me about it, as the server doesn't explicitly state that it's full of teens below the age of 18. In fact, I never ask people about their age, because if I do it to every single person I meet, then I would become annoying, rude, and suspicious. The issue with privacy is that it's a double-edged sword. Nobody knows how old you really are, and as a consequence, you gain access to shit you didn't know or aren't allowed to know. Can we go ahead and petition Discord and other websites to add some sort of marker to show if someone's under the age of 18 or not? Anyways, Domcult and other similar servers have people talking about sex and shit, sending each other hentai, and constantly joking about sexism and racism. It shows in their posts about memes involving cock and ball torture, the exploding sex fridge video, this gif. Since it was the norm, I thought that would be fun for me to joke about the same thing. Guess that backfired once they find out you're legally an adult. And that's the end of the video, guys. Going back to Dennis, he was persuasive to know the source of my sand slash profile picture at the time. Here's screenshots of the full chat prior to me sending him the porn links. I didn't know he was 15 when he kept asking me for the source. And if I did know, I would have never sent him the sources in the first place. At one time, I sent him the porn links. I was pretty sure I was going to get banned for having crop porn as my profile picture, and that one of the mods from that server sent a proxy to confirm that my profile picture was not crop porn directly. I can confirm it from another message that one of the users said, as he backed me up about my profile picture. It goes along the lines of, "It wasn't crop porn, 73D confirmed it." I don't have the screenshot because I was banned from the server before I could take one as evidence. Now let's look at this other thing that I said. Oh yes, the age of consent. Lapse in 12 years age of consent. Yeah, it's true. The age of consent in the Philippines is 12. I'm saying it here sarcastically, as I know full well that this is still an ongoing issue on my country. Girls here get raped at 13 and the rapists get away with it, partly because Philippine law assumes that young teenagers are now mature enough to be able to make rape allegations on their own, and partly because Philippine law is a little inspired by biblical law, as according to Deuteronomy 22:28-29, which states that a man who rapes a young woman is forced to marry a forced woman and cannot divorce. Even until today, since 1954 until probably recently on March, my country does not provide the right to divorce, as it breaks the biggest tradition of the Philippines, which is family values. As for what I said there, sarcasm doesn't relate through text. For the same reason, you cannot tell whether you're looking at talc powder or cocaine based on a line of it you can see on the desk. Just like what Jonathan Pye said.
Doesn't matter if I spoke through irony, hyperbole, an attempt at humor, a fucking genuine mistake. Doesn't matter, let's assume the worst. Context consigned to the memory hole.
You know what? Here's an illustration about the importance of context. People see something, albeit a message or a picture, then they base their judgment on that picture alone. Only very few would actually try to look at what's behind it. Why drummers were sent in historical battles, why Caligula declared war against Poseidon in order for his soldiers to stab the water, why a war was fought over a bucket. Perhaps drummers were needed to boost morale and relay orders. Perhaps Caligula thought his legions were scared of crossing the English Channel because Romans were highly superstitious. Perhaps the bucket carried gold loot and was part of a bigger war, and so on and so forth. The same can apply to anything that anyone has ever said. Context is important, but social engineers understood that humans are hollow-minded herd of sheep and would easily be manipulated to believe based on how many people agree with it. To prove my point, a guy pretended to be a celebrity in New York. He hired cameramen and bodyguards and all that, and immediately people started asking to take pictures with him. Going back, I post and say all kinds of weird crap on the internet as a form of shitposting or for a meme screenshot, and letting my dignity get damaged all in the name of humility and self-prejudice for laughs, as how the entire Filthy Frank community shaped me to the man I am today. Because some people take what you say too seriously and call you out for it. I'm at fault for sending someone porn links before asking them their age, and I sincerely apologize for it. I have learned from it, and I promise I will never talk to people like that on any online media ever again. Lesson here is, the internet is like the forbidden fruit Adam and Eve ate. Once you take a bite of it, you have unrestricted access to literally anything. That includes porn sites with "Are you 18 years old or above" being easy to bypass. To show you the danger of the internet, a few days ago, a news broadcast reported a kid who, after watching a TikTok video of a guy seemingly hanging himself and turning into a ghost, almost actually fucking hanging herself to death. I petition world governments to enforce an internet license plus a very strong passcode, and only those who are registered to such a license would have unrestricted access to all sites. Those who don't have an internet license should be given very severely restricted access and would not be able to talk to anyone above the age limit, let alone at all. Hashtag bring back Roblox safe chat. Anyways, I hope this addresses everything, and again, I'm very sorry for all that I have done prior to hitting more than halfway to 23. I'm never going back to your servers, ever again. From now on, I'll be a lot more careful with what I say and what I do on the internet. Just pretend the internet is real life. I insist everyone else do the same. Thanks for watching. Happy Dia de Muertos.